Real American Freestyle. This is so cool, and it's so great for the competitors. And they're going to be in South Florida for the first time, Saturday, January 10th at Amerant Bank Arena, which, by the way, is home of the two-time NHL Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers. Always got to say that, Kurt. And we have one of the analysts, Olympic gold medalist, WWE Hall of Famer. He's done podcasts. He's done meet and greet appearances. He's been doing things. I believe he was even like on the TV news, like doing a report, sportscaster back in the day.
Yeah, sportscaster a while back. Yeah.
It is the great Kurt Angle. Thank you so much. And you're going to be on the broadcast team. You've been on the broadcast team with Real American Freestyle. First thing I want to know is, how did you get involved with this?
Actually, my good friend Hulk Hogan, God rest his soul, he contacted me and said, "Listen, I can't do this without you." And I thought that was a pretty heavy statement, but we talked about it. And when he told me he wanted to do a professional wrestling league for Olympic wrestlers, I thought, this is awesome. It's been done before, but it didn't succeed in the past. But with this company, RAF, they have the funding to keep it going. So, the other companies that did it, that tried it, ran out of money, and they weren't able to profit. But this company has their stuff together. They know what they're doing.
Kurt, I didn't know that it was tried before. I'm just curious. I know obviously a big thing is the money with any business, with any company, but you also need the right people involved. I mean, was it just the money, or also there were some people that maybe it didn't work because of that as well?
Well, you know what? This company has different walks of life. I mean, we have world-class athletes, from all over the world. That's what makes us different. We go and recruit these athletes that are Olympic champions, world champions, Pan American champions, NCAA champions. We even have a kid that is a threat to make the Olympic team, and he just graduated high school. His name is Bo Bassett, and we signed him, and he did extremely well last match. He actually pinned his opponent, and his opponent was, I believe, double his age. He was 38, and Bo was only 19 years old. But Bo's a stud, and we have wrestlers like that make this company really special.
One of those two is, I thought this was really interesting, Kurt. Steve Mocco, the head wrestling coach at American Top Team, award-winning training facility for MMA right here in South Florida in Coconut Creek. And he's actually coming out of retirement. His two sons, Steve, I'm going to tell you this, Steve's two sons, Kurt, are studs. They're in high school, international level caliber. His oldest, Michael, is going to University of Iowa. He's already signed.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they're going to be in his corner for this. He's coming out of retirement to do this and all, which I think is so great. But what do you think of something like that? Because I know this is for younger competitors. This is giving them something.
Listen. We, like I said, all different walks of life. We have a wrestler that dominated his last match against Pat Downey. His name's Yoel Romero. He's 48 years old. Okay, so these guys, we don't discriminate. Age, or it doesn't matter. If these guys can perform at their very best, we're gonna recruit them. We're gonna bring them on. So we have a lot of great athletes, and especially we have a main event in Florida. That one's gonna be two MMA champions, Colby Covington and Luke Rockhold, and that match is gonna be incredible. And now, were they the greatest wrestlers? No. They were all Americans. I think one wrestled in high school, made it to state. The other one was placed fifth at the Nationals in the NCAA championships. So they're not the greatest, but they have big names. They have huge followings. We even have social media influencers that have had success in wrestling in the past. They're not world-class athletes, but they reach out to a lot of the fans that follow us. So it's not just about bringing in the best. It is about bringing in the best, but we don't discriminate. We're gonna, we're gonna look for intriguing matchups. You see a dream match, you're gonna want it. For example, we had one there where it was Wyatt Henderson versus Mason Paris. That was a dream match. And it didn't end up so pretty. I mean, Wyatt Henderson actually dominated the match, but it was really cool to see that those two go at it because they're two of the greatest heavyweights today.
It's so interesting because listen to you talk about it. You just seem like the fire is in your eyes and it's in your passion. What has it been like calling these, helping out with this and doing this? Because it started last year. This is still very new. Started last year with some shows, and now jumping into 2026. First show is right here in Sunrise, Florida.
We've only had 4 events. This next event can be our 5th event. So this is really exciting. We are just starting out. But we had great show ups. Our attendance has been really good. Probably attendance has been between 4,000 and 7,000 people every show. So we're doing okay with that. But what we need is outreach. We need to get out there to the mainstream media. And that's why I'm here talking today, because I want this company to be one of the best wrestling companies in the world. And it doesn't matter if it's a pro wrestling company, amateur wrestling company. This company is legit, and they have the best athletes in the world. And I think that's why they're going to survive.
When the late, great Hulk Hogan, who you mentioned, and also Eric Bischoff, got involved with this, really wanted to bring this out there. And it was thought, Kurt, oh, is this another pro wrestling league? No.
Right.
It's unscripted. It's freestyle wrestling. We got to get the word out. This is what it's about. And just doing that. But they said, listen, but we want to bring personality to this. We want to bring charisma with this. Have you been helping in that aspect too, of doing that with some of the competitors?
A little bit, Eric Bischoff mainly does that. He directs them, tells them where to go, what to do. Just try to get. He wants to get the excitement from the crowd, and so he wants the crowd to respond to the wrestlers. And the only way to do that is if you're being very entertaining, and that's why pro wrestling always has done so well, because these athletes are really entertaining. Amateur wrestling, we were always told to show no emotion. Go out there with a poker face on, get the job done. That's it. In pro wrestling, you have to show every emotion, whether you're scared, excited, angry, upset, because that's what the fans invest in. That's how you sell tickets. So teaching these wrestlers, these amateur wrestlers, how to be entertaining is not easy, but they're catching on, and they're starting to get it, and that's what I love about it.
Well, I know somebody who did a really good job of that, and that's the man sitting right here, Kurt Angle. He was able to do the poker face, and then he was able to transition into the charismatic, entertaining pro wrestler, which is so cool.
You're right, man. You're right.
Hey, Kurt, what was that like, too, transitioning to that? Because you were just an outsider coming into this world, and just so many people, so many legends and people in the business at that time were like, hey, this guy's catching on really quick.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know anything about pro wrestling. My family, my brothers said, don't watch it. It's crap. It's fake. You're the real deal. So I never watched it. When I got approached by WWE in 1996, Vince McMahon offered me a contract, invited me up to headquarters, and I met up with him, and he threw a multi-million-dollar deal in front of my face. And I never had money, or money in general, to be honest with you. And I said, Vince, I'm not sure I want to sign this. Can I take it home and think about it? He said, yeah, take it home, think about it. If you decide to sign it, send it back. So I went home and I talked to my brothers. And they said, you're not doing that crap. You're the real deal. That's fake. So I turned it down, unfortunately. But ironically, 2 years later, the WWE comes out of the closet and makes a huge announcement. We're no longer sport. We're sports entertainment. So they basically de-legitimized wrestling, saying that wrestling was predetermined or fake. Predetermined is a better word for it. But so when I did that, my brothers heard about the announcement and they came to me and said, "Hey, Kurt, you could do it now." They admit that they're fake. So I called Vince McMahon and he said, "You're going to have to try out. I'm not going to give you the contract. You're going to have to earn it." So I went up and tried out. And after the first day, I picked up on everything so quickly. They offered me a contract. But I didn't know how to cut promos and be entertaining. And they weren't really teaching me. We didn't have OVW or NXT back then. So I was in Memphis for 6 months training down there, and I did one promo. That's it. So there was no way I was going to be a promo cutter when I went into WWE. And when Vince had me make my debut, he said, "Listen, you're going to cut a promo tonight and have a wrestling match." I said, "Vince, I can't cut promos. I suck at them." I did one promo down in Memphis, and it was horrible. He said, "Well, I'm going to give you an opportunity. You're either going to sink or swim. It's up to you." So he gave me the opportunity. And what he did is he told me the promo. He didn't write it down for me to memorize. He was going to tell me at once, and he wanted me to go out there and perform it. They usually write it down so you can memorize it. So he wanted to test me, see how I did. And so he starts telling me the promo, and like 3 minutes goes by, and I'm like, "Geez, this is a long promo." And I stopped listening. And he goes on for about 6 minutes, and he goes, "All right, why don't you go out there and cut that promo?" I said, "Vince, I'm sorry, but I didn't hear a word you said." He said, I said, could you tell me it one more time?" He said, "One more time, sink or swim." So he told me it one more time, and I went out there and I got about 80% of it right. And Vince said, "You know what? I can work with this kid. This kid has ability." So he starts having me cut promos every week after week. They get longer and longer, and I'm getting better and better at them. And I started mastering promos. And I also didn't know a lot about psychology for pro wrestling. So I was still learning that as well. So it was, they threw me into the fire. I mean, they legitimately threw me in the fire, and I had to produce for them or I got fired. And it was really up to me. But with no experience, it was an uphill battle.
How you were able to do that, and that story is amazing. It's just incredible with your career, but everything you've done in your career, you just put 110% into it, and you have to do that. And I'm curious for the broadcasting part of it now with Real American Freestyle. What has that been like? You've done broadcasts before for different shows, MMA and different things, and just how comfortable are you at doing this?
I'm starting to get more and more comfortable. It took me some time because, I got away from amateur wrestling for a long time. And when I came back to it, it was all relatively new to me. And all these athletes today, I don't know them. I don't even know their history. So I had to start studying, check up on everything and make sure I learned as much as I could. And there was a lot of studying every day at home to get my mind where I was able to remember who they were and what they accomplished. And so it took me a while, but I'm getting it now. And I just love commentating. I love doing it, especially with the sport I love. This is amateur wrestling is my favorite sport. It's always has been, always will.
Do you do any coaching? Do you do any training?
I did some coaching. Well, not coaching. I would say I did clinics, but I can't really do them now because I just have my knees replaced and I have to have my shoulders replaced, and my body's pretty banged up, so I can't really do anything right now.
And what is it like also from a commentary standpoint, working with Shale, working with Juliana, Bubba, the team there? And what's that been like?
Those guys are pros. They have taught me a lot because I have zero experience. I mean, I commentated, MMA fights and pro wrestling, but not consistently. And now this is my job, and they've really taught me a lot. I learned a lot from all of them, from Shell, Bubba, and Juliana.
Do you go back and watch and listen to what you're saying after the fact?
Yes, always. You got to do that. You got to critique yourself, making sure that you're up to par, that you're doing your job and you're doing it right.
Eric Bischoff, what are your thoughts of Eric? And just he's worn a lot of hats as well. done so many things and all.
I,
And
I
just
have a lot of respect for Eric. He's done incredibly well with his life, with his career. He continues to uh, you know, blow everybody's mind by doing things like this. You never imagine him being an amateur wrestling, you know, a professional amateur wrestling league. Okay, Eric Bischoff's all pro wrestling, so for him it was an adjustment, but he's getting it. He's learning the system, and he is. I wouldn't want any other guy that to lead me than Eric Bischoff. He does an incredible job.
the late great Hulk Hogan, your thoughts on him?
Hogan was a legend. I really enjoyed working with him. He he had a huge impact on my life. When I was younger, I never watched pro wrestling, but I always knew who Hulk Hogan was. He was basically he's a legend and household name. He always will be. And I love the guy. He was really nice, very respectful to me. I actually got to wrestle him one time, and I made him tap out. I think I'm the only one to ever make Hogan tap out. So that was really cool. Yeah, I couldn't believe he agreed to it.
I wasn't going to say anything, but that's the thing. That is, but that's how much he thought of you. That would, to me, that was just like
we had a mutual respect, definitely. Yes.
Couple more things will get you out of here. Thank you so much for taking this time. This is such an enjoyment for me to do this and all. And I'm curious. Listen, you WWE home run grand slam, TNA wrestling home run grand slam. What were your thoughts when all of a sudden TNA wrestling and WWE NXT are working together?
Well, I never thought it would happen. And I got kind of excited because if they're starting to partner, I'd imagine WWE will eventually buy TNA's library, and all the WWE fans will be able to see my work in TNA. And my work in TNA was better than WWE. So, I was there longer. I was there for 11 years. WWE, I was there for 8. But I had a better career in TNA, and I'm very proud of that.
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe, one of my favorite wrestlers to go up against. Him and AJ Styles, probably 2 of the most talented pro wrestlers I've ever been in the ring with.
And that was your TNA wrestling, and right there. You did great things in WWE, don't get me wrong. But yeah, that TNA wrestling and what you did there was awesome. And then I'm curious, what did you think so much? Listen, John Cena, great career, unbelievable and everything like that. The heel turn, that was awesome with Cody. But then he taps out in his final match. I mean, I didn't like it, Kurt, but what are your thoughts? I know, hey, shock and surprise is great too, so I could see something like that. But what were your thoughts of him tapping out like that?
I didn't think he had to, but knowing John and how giving he is, I think he wanted to do it right. He wanted to go out right. He's very respectful of the business, and he knows that when you're leaving, when you're retiring, you're most likely going to have to lose. That you need to put your other talent over. And that's what John did. And he did it with so much dignity and pride. And, it was just, nobody thought he was going to tap out. That was, so it was quite a surprise. But, sometimes that's good. And, a lot of kids cried, though. A lot of fans cried in that arena that night.
And all over. And Kurt, I'll say this too as we wrap this up. I'll about that, because if you think about it, Sergeant Slaughter, this is way back, but Sergeant Slaughter turning against America, Hulk Hogan turning heel, the streak, Undertaker, Brock ending it, John Cena tapping in his farewell match. That's like one of the top 4 or 5 things that's happened in pro wrestling.
Without a doubt. Yes, without a doubt, my friend. And you know what? Cena, he only tapped out 4 times in his career. He tapped out twice to me and once with Jericho and then Gunther. So he doesn't tap out very easily,
Oh, Kurt. Well, listen, thank you so much for the time. I'm ending with this, Kurt. Are you still drinking milk and do you have a kazoo?
I do not have a kazoo, but I still drink milk every day. It's very nourishing and it makes me healthy.
Oh, man, great times, great times. Kurt, we look forward to seeing you here Saturday, January 10th, Amerant Bank Arena in South Florida in Sunrise, Real American Freestyle Wrestling. It's going to be a tremendous event, lots of matches. These are top-notch wrestlers, but other people from all different aspects and all. I learned this today from Kurt Angle, too, that are involved in this and are going to be out there competing. So it's going to be a good time. Last word, you get the last word, and thank you, Kurt.
Oh, I just want to thank you for having me on. I'm really excited about Real American Freestyle 5. We're going to be in Sunrise, Florida, and this is our 5th event, and we're going to make it the best one we actually can. And I believe this show will be our best.